Berhanu. Yes. Okay. So what I would like to do now is within the quality management itself, we haven't completely done with the master data. Why? Let me show you why. Expand. You see this basic data, master data, static data, the foundation data, they're all same. That part we just did one, right? Yesterday we did master inspection characteristics, and also we have completed inspection plan. Okay, inspection plan is a task. Okay, the task is again subdivided based on the task type. If it is a queue, task type is inspection plan. If it is number 2, the task type is called master recipe. In the PPPI, FEMI must be knowing it. And if task type is R, like Robert, that's called rate routing. We use that in repetitive manufacturing. Okay? And if it is N, like Nancy, that's called standard routing. So that means, oh, we have one more. In plant maintenance, equipment task is called E, and the function location task is called F. So what exactly the task is? The task is how you are performing your work in a sequential order using the predefined procedure with predefined resources. Resources could be manpower, machine power, work centers, resources, production line, process unit, work center. And also you need materials, right? Input components, semi-finished materials, operating supplies, PRTs, production resource tools, things like that. So in one sentence, task list or task list type we have in almost in all the modules. Having said that, yesterday what we did was the inspection plan, okay? And that's again a task. So if you remember, Berhanu was using he was not using any work center. He said the quality inspector is going to go around and is going to see the visual. That's it. But the example what I created, I said, unlike Berhanu, no, I'm going to use some NDT techniques, non-destructive testing. For that I have a unit, NDT unit, okay? And also I said my inspector is going to do the work. So I was using manpower, a work center defined as a quality management technician, and in the place of work center, if you remember, in the first operation I put that, right? So that's what we did yesterday, but still we do have so many other stuff to do within the master data itself. The reason why we pay a lot of importance to the master data is this is the data that is static, one-time job. We load this data into the system. Then we run business scenarios, the transaction data, what we call, in this case, inspection lot. All the data, the master data, what we have created so far, is going to be copied into the transaction data, which is nothing but, in our case, inspection lot. Okay, got it? So we have to make sure that the basic data, the master data, is set up right. Otherwise, what happens is garbage in, garbage out, right? So let me show you how to create a BPP. We already did one yesterday, if you guys remember, the BPP, business process procedure. So this is also one of our jobs when we are on work site. The reason is we have to create these documents as a part of our deliverables, and the detailed information in the BPP is going to be just hand out this BPP to any business guy or the end user. In this case, end user could be inspector, quality manager, quality supervisor, plant manager, plant quality inspector, or if it comes under FDA regulations like our area, because we come under FDA, right Berhanu? So we do have additional CGMP, the current good manufacturing processes, GMP, that's also called good manufacturing processes, CFR, Code of Federal Regulations, Part 11, and all that stuff, right? And also, it is a law that we got to keep these records for a while. So we got to create them, and we need to keep it ready. Okay. So generally, if you are using Solution Manager, and I don't know whether you have that. I'm sure we don't have. We didn't use. No. At Tata Global, no. I'm sure. I'm 100% sure I was there. No, it was not there. So, but we do have something called, it's called SharePoint, right? The web-based tool, the web-based repository. That's where we upload all the BPPs, work instructions, unit testing documents, integration testing documents, then the performance testing, the volume testing, the stress testing, and the disaster recovery testing, because we operate 24/7, right? So all that data has got to be in the repository. If you have Solution Manager, we upload it to Solution Manager with a different document type. Okay, so let's move on. Now what we would like to do today is, let me go to SAP screen. Okay, so here we are done with inspection characteristics, right? So let's go and do inspection methods. Okay, so you have two options. Simply go to the command prompt. This little white thing is called the command prompt, and you can type your transaction code there, QS31, right? Or you can go through the menu path all the way, expand basic data, expand inspection methods, and create. Okay, let's create. Double click on it, and I got to know where I'm working, right? So I'm working in 3100. That's the plant, correct? So by default, the date, the validity date, is going to pop up as today's date. Okay, just in case if you want to use a date different than today's date, this is one great opportunity for you. Once you miss this opportunity, later on that's going to be grayed out. The date is going to be grayed out. Okay, in my case I'm okay with today's date. Okay, but remember that. So I'm going to give a name, inspection method dash B Berhanu. Okay, so click. It's being created. You remember yesterday, being created status is not advisable because the system thinks that we're still cooking. So make sure that it is released. Select state which is released. Okay, and the description, this is going to be inspection method by B stands for Berhanu, and I can search with B or BER. Okay, so if I search BER, then it's going to bring all of them if you create more than one with this name. Okay, the next thing would be, like always, we hit enter just to make sure that the data that's been created or the data that's been entered is valid. Okay, and click on classification. I would say that the screen what you see here, it is familiar to you. This is exactly similar to the classification view what you see when you are creating Material Master. You remember when you create Material Master, then the first one would be basic data 1, 2, then after that classification, right? So that is the screen. Okay, it has come to classification screen. Okay, so class type, you see the class type, you guys know 001, which is material characteristics, and 023, which is for batch management. Likewise, we have so many, and the one which we are using for inspection methods given by SAP is 006. You see this? Okay, so it's pretty clear that if you are using inspection method, the class type is going to be 006. If you want to see other classes, what I mentioned just now, right here, you don't have any other, it's only one. Okay, so class, I have an opportunity to create my own custom class. Remember, this is class, not class type. Okay, one class type can have one or many classes. One class can have one or many characteristics. One characteristic can have one or many values. Remember that. Okay, so in this case I'm not going to create because it's going to take some time. So let me go to drop down and see what my friends have created. Why? It's IDES. So there may be a lot of people must have created a lot of stuff, right? So let's make use of that. I'm going to put hits 500s. Okay, so hit enter and see what you have here. Unfortunately, there's nothing. It's very surprising. Very surprising. So till now, no one did anything. Okay, so let me That's really not possible, but okay. I'm going to use the same name, IM-B, that found. So it's not going to create for me. So I have to go back and create separately, standalone, come back here, okay? So for now, let's leave it on, leave it as is, and we'll save it, we'll get out, then we'll go back and create a standalone class. And once that is created, we'll bring that guy and assign it to our inspection method. How is that? Sounds good? Okay, let's go. Super. So I think we are all on the same page. So far, you know what I'm doing. Then please stop me if you are not following, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and save it. Wonderful. IM-B inspection method is created. So let's go and create a class, right? So that is something which we haven't done. Okay. The classification mechanism is a centralized mechanism. That means you take any module, doesn't matter. Let it be finance, let it be SD, let it be anything. So we have classification mechanism. That hierarchy is class type, class, characteristic values, okay? You create that standalone thingy and assign it to an object, okay? Object could be material. In our case, object is inspection method, okay? So let's go and take a look at it. Okay, you see this? Class management. The transaction code is CL02. Okay, let's go ahead and create a class for us. And where do I want to create this? I want to create under 006, which is class type 6. I need this because I have to be able to assign this class to my inspection method. Okay, so I will say class for hyphen is basically for class for I am, maybe I can write class for also, or class of. It doesn't like any spaces, okay? So remember that even if I put a space, it doesn't keep those spaces at all, okay? Believe me. Class of IM inspection method. Okay, and now I'm going to say create. That's the name I gave. I'm creating. So it is giving a warning message to me. My dear friend, this class what you are creating right now, you cannot use this in object dependencies. Okay, what is object dependencies? In the variant configuration, you will be using object dependencies to put some rules. Okay, so it is saying that if you are using a class type called 006, you cannot use this class in object dependencies because object dependencies are being created under class type A200, B300. 200 for configurable CMAT material and 300 for material variance. Okay, so it is giving me a heads up information, which is okay. I'm going to hit enter. It's going to bypass it. Okay, and make sure you have the status released. Okay, otherwise you know what happens, right? When we try to use it, it's going to say you cannot use it because it's not been released. Okay, so now the description class type 006 with class for inspection method called B Berhan. So so do you want to check this again? Valid from and to, you see that you have valid from by default today's date and valid up to 999. That's default. That's the maximum SAP can go, but that doesn't really make any sense for us. So let's put some realistic value, maybe 2025. Okay, and I want to say that please check this and don't put a hardcore stop. Just give me a warning. Okay, so I'm in the basic data. I'm going to go for keywords. Keyword is going to be class for inspection method. Okay, my keyword is too long. Let's go to characteristics. So here again, under one class you have multiple characteristics, and if you want to pick from the drop down, you can. If you want to create your own, you can do both ways. So let me go to drop down and pick some of them. When I'm picking, I want to restrict. How? Restrict by class. You remove this, because if you keep that, it's going to say we don't have anything. Oh, it's okay, let's take a different route. Okay, so I'm selecting get me all the characteristics that are existing within the system under class type 006. Bring me some 500. Let's hope that we have some. Oh, we are lucky. We have okay, we have BJ. That's one. Enter. And let's pick one more. There are three actually. So somebody created. See this? Enter. Let me pick the last one, the third one too. Okay, that's nice. This is the third one. So there are three. Okay, and the next thing would be the last one, which is text, and if you are okay with that, go ahead and save it. So we have a custom class, correct? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go back to my inspection method, change That's the one I created. Enter. Classification, Control V, enter. You see that? So now the whole hierarchy is in front of you. See? Class type 006. Under that you have one custom class, and that has got 3 characteristics. And let's go and find out the values. So you can, it's kind of a value. You can give some value, numerical value. That's what it is saying, because I remember saying that it's a numerical value and not a characteristic. But this guy, I think this is not a numeric. I think so. Let me type some words. I'm right. So each of these characteristics, they have a data type, right? The data type, is it a character, is it numeric? If it is yes, what would be the length and all that good stuff, okay? And like I said, the classification mechanism is a standalone mechanism which we designed, and we got it, and we are assigning that classification mechanism starting from the class type, custom class, characteristics values to the object. In this case, what is our object? Our object is inspection method. Go ahead and save it. Okay, so it is a little complex because of the classification, and since you are not aware of the classification, I should have actually explained that first, maybe yesterday, but I guess you got it, right? Wonderful. Let's see. I'm going to I'll stop the recording now. Yeah, I know. Berhanu, bear with me. I think you have only 2 minutes, so your time is going to be 9 o'clock. Just 2 minutes, okay? I'll leave you. Create. So it cannot be created in object dependencies. We know that. I need to bypass it. Enter. Released. And inspection method. For F, that's FEMI, and give a warning, and the realistic date is going to be, this is going to be the realistic date. Keywords, FEMI, characteristics. This time I want to create. Okay, last time I was picking someone else. This time I would like to create. I'm not going to grab those 2. No, 3. I'm sorry guys. I think at my end I have some internet issues. Okay, so